Good day, fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. Welcome to Singapore International Dynamic Speaker Club. I'm Corey Milani and I'm privileged to serve you as a Toastmaster of the day. We will have a very exciting chapter meeting today and we will have a theme on growth. What comes into your mind when you heard the word growth? For me, at home, I have these two lovely plants. Let me see whether I can show you. Yeah, I have this very lovely plant and the other one. So recently, I'm into this mini cactus plant. Actually, for dictionary, growth meaning the process increasing in size or gradual development in maturity, age, size, weight, or height. Growth is often painful. It's not a change overnight. And growth itself could be in the way of growth in mindset or personal character, or even growth in knowledge or even spirituality. Tonight, I will introduce you some of our role holders. We will have timer, Toastmaster Edward Young. Edward is an IT professional who lives in Belize, Central America. He enjoys public speaking, cycling, playing chess, and RPGs. Toastmaster Edward, could you please explain your role to the attendees, please?
Good morning, Mr. President, Toastmaster of the evening, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. As your timer, I will be keeping track of our meeting as we progress in accordance with our agenda. For each speaking role, we will be timed for the table topics. It will be at 2 minutes, give or take 30 seconds. At the 1 minute mark, I will show the green card. At the 1.5 minute mark, I will show the yellow card. At the 2 minute mark, I will show the red card. For the manual presentations, at the 5 minute mark, I will show the green card. At the 6 minute mark, the yellow card, and at the 7 minute mark, the red card. And I will keep us in line with our agenda as we progress throughout the course of the meeting. Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Edward, for the introduction. Then next, our grammarian will be led by DTM Yente. Yente is in the real estate business, and these days, Fridays are dreaded because of the fear that the government comes in with a sudden property cooling measures. So she's on standby to rush the show flats to do sales. And since she's here today, it means that she is safe for another week until the next Friday. Yente, could you please explain your role to the attendees, please?
So today my role is to look at the gems as well as the germs of the language used during today's meeting and to encourage everyone to use the word of the day, which I will go into more details later on.
Thank you. Next, I will invite our club president, distinguished Toastmaster Willie Loh, to give an opening speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good afternoon. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to anyone from around the world. How do you define goal in Toastmaster? Let me give you the 4 things that I start to learn in Toastmaster. Listen, think, speak, and do. Can you write it down on a piece of paper? During my journey as a Toastmaster, I realized that throughout all my 40+ years, I realized that this is the 4 things that we learn in life. If we miss out something in our life, we either did not make it or we lose it. How do I define? Because I remember the time when we first when we start to speak, we tend to speak a lot to our parents, to whoever, but we cannot listen well. Correct? Am I right? If you can recall, but even to this, a lot of people are still having this problem. They tend to speak a lot without listening well. And we like to speak a lot, but did we do it in the correct way? Yeah, organize your speech, speak to the point, and having a good structure. But we end up doing a lot more. Listen, think, and speak. Because of that, we end up doing a lot of many words. Let's come back to the context of Toastmasters in this first context. Many of you are a Toastmaster just for a month, half a year, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, or even 20 over years. Have you seen yourself grow in this 4 main area? Forget about the EQ or this thing, because that is partially part of the 4 growth area you should focus more, because they are your supplement skill. But these 4 are your area of growth that you should focus, because without this, you will still be searching for the truth. Why do I say so? When I first joined Toastmasters in 2003, I learned to speak, but I forget to listen well. I was very aggressive. A lot of people speak to me, I was very aggressive, and I always ignore their thought. Means I just throw away whatever they tell me. And I left Toastmasters in 2006 because I couldn't take the pressure anymore. When I came back in 2018, I still don't know. I have learned to speak better. I still do a lot more, but more because I start to think more. Because in my nature of work, I have to think a lot instead of doing more. And in a short time, work in my job as a major incident, I have to think very fast. I need to think of what's the better way to solve the issue, to ask the engineer to solve the issue and resolve the situation for the customer. That is why my thinking skill have improved. What I lack in my growth as a Toastmaster is just only listening skill, because sometimes we may be doing something and then out of no blue, somebody talk to us, and even people are talking to us, we are listening. We are doing something else, not concentrating. So listening skill is my main focus of coming back to Toastmasters this round. Actually, a lot of people have also identified. I told them that I'm still learning. So remember that these 4 areas contribute to your growth as a Toastmaster as well in life. Over back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Mr. President, Toastmaster Willie Low. I'm wondering what kind of growth you're pursuing right now. May I hear from some people here? Let me see. Samir, do you recently seek growth in certain area? Could you please share with us?
Actually, thank you all for hosting me in your meetings. Actually, I don't know the meaning of growth. Can you just give me the meaning of growth, please?
Okay. Based on the dictionary, growth meaning is a process increasing in size or gradual development in maturity, age, size, width, or height. Growth can be anything: personal character, knowledge, spirituality, mindset, etc. You name it.
Okay. Actually, I see growth in my life since I joined Toastmasters. In the past, I could not take the mic in front of a crowd of people. So now I am more confident, and I'm growing up with my club members and with the worldwide network of Toastmasters, of lovely Toastmasters like this beautiful community I'm meeting with today. So yes, I'm growing up with Toastmasters step by step.
Thank you, Toastmaster Samir. Can I hear from Khalid Amin? Hi, Khalid. Are you there? Okay, perhaps I will pick another person. Gracie, what kind of growth you are pursuing right now?
What kind of growth am I pursuing right now? Thank you for that excellent question, Toastmaster. I'm 16 right now. I'm in my hot-headed phase of youth where I feel like I'm right and everybody is wrong. And of course, that's not a very healthy mentality to have. At the moment, I'm pursuing the type of growth that enables me to see the compromise in every situation. I'm going to actively try to see that it's possible to be right without proving others wrong. And so, yeah, in conclusion, that's just the type of growth that I think will help me pursue my careers and aspirations in the future. You look absolutely incandescent today. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Gracie, for sharing. I remember my youth is also very interesting. A lot of things need to be learned and compromised as well. Thank you so much. Okay, next, we will have a workshop led by Lee Buckley. I will be handing over to Lee Buckley for the workshop.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. Hello, everyone. Put your hand up if you're afraid of speaking in the virtual environment. Or are you so confident that you're going to ace it and appear condensant in a virtual environment? You have that spark going, the eye contact, and you're able to be engaging and impactful. Let's put it this way, not all of us can do that. And that's why we're here tonight, having the workshop. I'll share some tips with you. And then, as I mentioned last week, nobody sits down. We're all going to get up and do it. Are we ready, everyone? I can't hear you. Are we ready, everyone?
Yes.
Excellent. Woohoo. Well done. Let me share the slides with you. Today's workshop is on Your Body Speaks. What I will be covering will be an introduction, and then I will talk about framing. What the workshop will concentrate on is how your body speaks in a virtual environment. As you can appreciate, we're a 100% online club. So I would like you to focus on the online presence, that's the framing, facial expressions versus gestures, and eye contact as well. And of course, we will have some question and answer at the end, and then you will get up and do the work. As Toastmaster Michael mentioned in his evaluation, evaluators, we look for what we see, what we heard, and how we felt when we are evaluating a speaker's speech. With this particular workshop, I want you to focus on what you see as an evaluator. If you are an evaluator, you need to focus on how the speaker presents the speech. And therefore, if you put on the evaluator's hat, you should be able to tweak your body language accordingly. If you are in a contest, the physical component comprises 10% of the total marks. Remember, you just have to tweak your presence. Make sure you have eye contact with the audience. Make sure you have facial expressions and gestures. And that's easy 10 marks, right, everyone? Do you agree? It's not that easy, right? Yeah. This is the back of the evaluation form of your project speeches. As you can appreciate, there are a lot of areas that we concentrate on: clarity, vocal variety, gestures, audience awareness, etc. In terms of body speak, the evaluator will look for your gestures and your eye contact. Let us start with framing. Remember, we're framing in an online presence. I've got 4 pictures here to show you. These are shots taken from a recent international speech contest at the division level. And I've taken one from a humorous speech contest as well. Please feel free to unmute your mic if you'd like to share with the audience. Which one of these frames do you think is most effective?
Second one.
The second one, which is
The
top left
right.
or top right?
Top
For
right.
me, it's a
Top
top
right?
right.
Top right,
Excellent.
yeah.
So it's contestant Nite with that hand gesture. Right? So why do you say that that contestant has the best framing?
There's no door.
Excellent, yes.
They're in the middle. You can see well, like mid-range, mid-range.
Yes.
Part of their legs, and they don't have. Well, one of them's got a pattern. He's got lots of doors.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, and he's just he's got enough of his body, and enough of his centered.
That's right. And his background is just a clean background.
Clean, yes.
Yeah. So when you have background that consists of doors or tables or chairs or even pictures, most of the time the audience would get distracted and start looking at them. Oh, that's a nice picture. Or, oh, look at the door. I wonder where that leads to, instead of concentrating on the speaker. Okay? So by having a good frame, your video presence I'm talking about, make sure that we can see you from the waist upwards. Make sure that you are within frame so that if you do gesture, that you have shown the audience and is captured as well. So let's look at facial expressions versus gestures. In a physical meeting, we concentrate on gestures. Gestures doesn't mean that you keep doing this or this. Gestures means you gesture appropriately. In the online environment, it's important not to focus on gestures, but facial expressions. Because remember, a picture paints 1,000 words. If we gesture too much, especially if you have virtual background, it becomes a bit distractive. So focus on the eye contact. If you look at Li Xian, again, this is all taken from recent workshops and speechathons. She was looking at the camera, and with her gesturing, because she uses virtual background, you can see a lot of the wavy movements. So one of the things that you should be aware of is, do you use virtual background, or do you just simply ensure that you've got a good background when you give your speech? Look at Aaron Beverly. He is sitting down, but he's framed himself well. And when he gestured, he made sure that his hands are within the frame as well. The lady at the bottom left, she was presenting while sitting down. And again, remember this type of hand gestures. What are these signs of? Can somebody share with us? If you look at this type of gesture. Sorry, what was that, Patricia? Yeah.
Is it anxiety?
It could be anxiety. It could be nervousness. It could be, oh, I don't know what to do with my fingers. I'll just do them here. Or sometimes, to some speakers, this is just an easy way to rest your fingers. Just be aware. If the audience is looking at you, they may mistake this. Instead of you being relaxed, they may mistake you as being nervous. So bear in mind, gestures are important to make sure that you do put your hands down, relax. Look at the camera. Focus into the camera. Remember, facial expressions are important. Okay? And we will practice this a bit later. The next one is eye contact. As you focus your facial expressions and your gestures, look at the camera. Looking at the camera is not looking at members of the audience. Looking at the camera is looking at the 2 dots or 1 dot, depending on whether you have a laptop or a computer, and engaging with the audience that way. As what Mike Carr, the 2020 World Champion of Public Speaking, said, don't look at the camera, but look behind the camera so that you can connect with the audience. This was just a shot that we took. This is the Easter meeting that we had. As you can appreciate, a lot of us were sitting down during the meeting, but we make sure that we were within the frame. And if we do need to speak, the most effective way is to stand up, because even though it's virtual environment, we should practice public speaking in a virtual environment. Any questions so far? No, excellent. Remember, I said practice makes perfect, right?
Can you show that slide again, please? The last one.
The references or the
One of all of us.
oh, the one with all of you. Okay, hang on. That one.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Some people have got plain white. Is that a wall or is that something they've chosen?
That's what sometimes it's a wall, sometimes it's a virtual background, but we will explore that now. While we're trying to, so while we do the physical workshop, let me share something with you. I have set up a webcam as well. So one of the things that you can play with is, remember we said to make sure that you do speak with your camera at eye level. This is me using my computer webcam. I can change my device to the USB. This is the webcam that I have. So remember, as you can see, with my virtual background, there's always that wavy movement. So a good way for me to present then is to not have virtual background. For example, that way. And then I can stand up and adjust my camera or my position. So remember, you must have your camera at the eye level so that you are looking and engaging with the audience. If you look down, you will see all your, that chin. Oh, I don't have that today, so that's okay. And make sure as well, if you have your camera angled up, it looks at the ceiling. We don't want people to look at the ceiling. We want people to look at us, the whole frame. Now, I'd like to encourage everyone to please stand up. Okay, adjust your camera, adjust your phones to make sure that you're within frame. So I'm going to play with my camera just to show you. Okay, if my camera position is too low, then you will see this. So remember, that's angling up. Is that an effective way of presenting? No, right? So make sure you adjust your camera to eye level. Excellent. Yeah. Very good, everyone. Just one more. Next thing, we will try to engage with the audience with our eye contact. Now, I want everyone to move close to the camera. Look at the camera. Smile. Ah, hello, Mike. Just check your framing. If you're too close, take a step back. That's right. One of the things that you have to make sure is you need to check how far in do you have to be to make sure that you are within the frame. If that is too far and that is too close, perhaps, that will be the mid-range. And then your gestures, make sure they're within the frame. Okay. One of the things that we commonly, the common mistakes we make is when we go hi or that big, and then our hands are out of the frame. What we need to do is ensure that they are within the frame, and therefore, even when we said that big, they're still within the frame. Excellent. Now let us practice. Yeah, I'm going to give you some table topics for you to practice, and I would like to, we practice now, and then perhaps use some of the techniques later during the table topics. First of all, just make sure, let's unmute our mic to start with. Check our position, check our audio. Are we within range? Are we audible? I would like to ask Edward if you could please demonstrate. You remember Edward?
Yes.
Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, we had a birthday girl who celebrated her birthday last Tuesday. Edward would demonstrate how to sing happy birthday properly to our Toastmaster of the day, Corey. Woo! Over to you, Edward.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Corey. Happy birthday to you. We wish you many more. We wish you many more. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Thanks, Edward.
Hooray! Thank you, Edward. Remember, Edward, I think, was sitting down. Okay. Remember, I say, well, do as I say, but don't do as I do, right, Edward? But happy birthday, Corey. Many happy returns of the day. May you have eternal beauty, youth, wisdom, and health. Yeah.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lee Buckley.
You're welcome. Now, who would like to be the next guinea pig? No, sorry, the next volunteer.
I can go.
Joan, okay.
Yeah,
I have a question for you.
sure.
Apples or oranges? Apples or oranges? You have 1 minute. So just before you start, Edward, could you please show the green light at 30 seconds? 40 seconds is yellow, and then the red light at 1 minute. Thank you. Toastmaster John, apples or oranges? Over to you.
President, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I neither love apples or oranges. I love cherries because cherries are awesome, beautiful, red and small and tiny and very delicate and fragile. And isn't life is all that about to make sure that we are fragile, small, but at the same time, big and awesome and hard and loving. I want to be like a cherry and not like an apple, because apple is not common and everyone, I mean, some people like it, some people don't. And not even like oranges, because oranges are sour inside, although they are healthy with vitamin C. But I want to be like a cherry because cherries are beautiful, pretty, and loving, and awesome inside. And everyone likes cherry. Raise your hand if you all like cherries. Yes, see, I can see so many hands out there. So cherries are more popular than apples or oranges, and they are rare. They're not found in each and every part of the world. They're found in only some parts. So let's be rare and loving and awesome like cherries. Back to you.
Ooh, well done. Thank you, Toastmaster Joan. I'd like to invite everyone to give some feedback to Toastmaster Joan. How did you feel? Remember, when we evaluate on what we saw, what we heard, and how we felt. But today, we will focus on what we saw. Would somebody like to go first? How did you feel with Toastmaster Joan's presence, her video presence during her table topic? Toastmaster Kanan, would you like to give some feedback?
I could, but I didn't watch fully, so I cannot be, I am very honest with you. So I led on the later part of the things. So I will pass this time, but next time I will attend. Thank you.
Okay. Honesty, Thank you, Toastmaster Kanan. Yeah.
I liked her framing. She was almost in perfect center. Her hand gestures were mid-range. I would like to have seen more emphasis when she described small, as opposed to just keeping her hands at her waist level. But other than that, it was an excellent presentation.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Edward. I believe Toastmaster Khalid, you have your hand up.
I think it's Samir.
You're muted, Toastmaster Khalid. Yeah.
Okay, Lee, fellow Toastmaster, I think you have asked to say something about what we saw, but I must say something about what I heard also. Corey is very smart. She didn't like the topic, but she knew how to avoid it, yet not leave the topic entirely. That's number one, very smart girl. Number two is when she asked everyone to raise their hand if they like cherry, I would come closer to the camera, something like that. Can I see by raise of hand how many of you like cherries? So that's the only thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Khalid. Toastmaster Samuel, you had your hand up as well.
Yes, actually, I liked the performance of Joanne. She was very energetic and enthusiastic. She used some hand gestures, and she convinced us to love cherry rather than apple and orange. The only thing that I have as a remark is the window behind her. I think it was a little bit disturbing because the lighting disturbs somehow the visibility of the presenter. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Samuel. As you can appreciate, we start to observe things around the speaker as well. The speaker, although she was in the group frame in terms of her framing, but because there was light or the window in the background, and she could at times be too far away as well to see her facial expressions clearly. Okay, so some of the things to take note of is the framing, the eye contact, the facial expressions. Thank you for all your feedback. I would like one more volunteer, please. Remember, my philosophy is volunteer or you'll be voluntold. So who is the brave soul to volunteer? I heard a laughter. Toastmaster Michael.
Oh, you heard me. Oh my
I
gosh,
heard you. I heard you. Now,
Okay.
what I would like you to demonstrate is, remember, this is your body speaks workshop. Okay? I want you to describe an object, but use your facial expressions and use your hand gestures to describe the object. You have 1 minute to describe the object. Over to you, Toastmaster Michael.
Here in Spain, fellow Toastmasters, our breakfast is very unique. If you like bread, fresh made bread, toasted with fresh tomatoes from the farmer and some garlic and olive oil, which is so fresh that when you put it on the tomato with a little bit of salt, the taste in the morning is so vigorating and convalescent that your body will feel alive. Now, that's if you like tomatoes, garlic, olive oil in the morning for breakfast with your coffee. And before the coffee, hear me now, this is a secret. The oranges delicious here in Spain. They're sweet. That citrus wakes you up. Now you know why I live in Spain on the beach with the Spanish culture. The food is incredible. I'm going to live till I'm 94, 95 years old. That I can guarantee. Madam Table Topic Master, I hope I passed it.
Did he pass the test, everyone? Excellent. Yes, you did. Thank you. You reminded me of the rain in Spain stays mainly on the plain.
I'm going to turn off my microphone now, okay?
Okay, thank you. Now, the last volunteer is someone special, someone who dares to venture, someone who dares to try something new. What about Toastmaster Ka? Would you like to try the last topic? Excellent. Remember, we want to see your body from waist upwards. I'll let you get ready. Toastmaster Ka, please show us your best dance move. Please show us your best dance move. Toastmaster Ka.
My best dance move, fellow Toastmasters, is called Do Whatever You Want. And this is what it looks like. I don't know how it's going to be a table topic because it's moving rather than talking, but it kind of goes like this. And then I want to engage the audience. I go up close and then I pull back. Then I might turn around, but I don't think I'm properly framed, but it kind of goes a bit like this. And there's no structure. It's a bit like my table topic speaking. There's not a lot of structure. It's just like one big mess. And it continues on, and I'm waiting for Edward to put the yellow light on so I can stop. And when he does, I will stop. But meanwhile, this is my table topic. I'm showing you how I'm moving out of the frame. I'm going in the frame, and I stop. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ka. You have achieved all the objectives of the workshop by speaking impromptu, by moving as you spoke, and by coming close to show us your facial expressions as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have learned a little bit more about presentation in a virtual environment in terms of how your body speaks. Let me just show you the slide again as a quick reminder before we conclude the workshop. In a virtual environment, please ensure that you are within the frame. So focus on your video presence. Focus on your facial expressions rather than gestures, and focus on the eye contact as well. And who knows, you might be the next world champion of video speech. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Lee Buckley, for the tips and tricks given to us so that we can be a better presenter in the future. So I hope to see a better presenter today in our prepared speech section by implementing what Lee has shared with us, the tips and tricks. So do remember. Next, I think we will have a break first, or we go straight to the
table
topics.
Yes.
Okay, can. So for next, we will have a table topic session led by Toastmaster Patricia Tay. Patricia has been in the early childhood profession for over 20 years and a mother of 3 lovely girls. She believes that joy of learning should never stop. Take away the stage, Patricia.
Good day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. How are you? Do you associate growth with pain or with excitement? Do you think growth is necessary or would you avoid it? I had a lot of fun putting together 20 quotes just for you. Today, we're going to have 10 impromptu speakers. Let me share the screen. Thank you for waiting. Can we have the timer, please? Speakers will speak for 1 to 2 minutes. At the 1 minute mark, the timer will turn green. At the 1.5 minute mark, timer turns yellow. 2 minutes mark, timer turns red. And at 2.5 minutes mark, time is up. I am really excited. Are you excited too? Shall we have the first speaker, please? Do we have volunteers?
Me?
Yes. Who is that? Is it
Samir.
Khalid? Samir. Thank you for volunteering yourself. Which
You're
topic
welcome.
would you like to have? You may choose a number.
I would choose table topic 5.
Wow, 5.
Yes.
Growth is never by mere chance. It is the result of forces working together. Growth is never by mere chance. It is by the result of forces working together. Over to you.
Growing is not by chance. Growing needs so much effort, so much commitment, and so much engagement. We cannot grow by not having goals, by not having dreams, a vision of our future and how to reach these goals in the vision. Growth needs the help of our surrounding. We cannot grow alone. We need a tribe. So find your tribe to be able to learn new things, to thrive and to exchange new knowledge, new ideas. Only by nurturing yourself and your environment and your surrounding, you can grow and let people around you growing with you. So growth is never by chance. It is the result of a huge effort and collaboration. Back to you, Madam the Table Topics Master.
Thank you. Indeed, growth is never by mere chance. Shall we have the next volunteer? Okay, we have Peter Chong. Peter, would you like to give it a try?
Let's have table topic number 10.
Number 10. You may have to fight a battle more than once to win it. You may have to fight a battle more than once to win it. Over to you, Peter.
When trying to accomplish some projects or some tasks itself, or any challenges that actually you face or you are doing now in your life, sometimes you need to much more efforts to overcome the challenge to achieve what you want. Like example, when you try to have completing a project in the timeline itself, you might facing a challenges like lack of resources, lack of the timing, or the cooperation, lack of resources of the manpower itself. So you need to actually have the point is, no matter regardless anything, you need to overcome that and pull out all the resources itself to make it happen itself. Thanks. That's all.
Thank you. Can we have Li Xian next? Li Xian, it's nice to see you again. Would you pick a number, please?
Patricia. Hi.
Hello.
Question 1.
You will get there one day.
Please.
So don't forget the journey too. You will get there one day. So don't forget the journey too. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Patricia, and good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone. You will get there one day, and you should enjoy the journey because you know that eventually you will get there. So, what is the journey and what is the meaning of getting there? I guess, although a lot of us may have a lot of dreams and goals about where we want to be, but along the way, we will learn that there are changes, and also there may be more interesting things or things that you want to get there instead of what you originally thought maybe 5 years ago. So that's why the most important thing is to keep your mind open, enjoy the journey, explore all the scenery, the flowers, the people around you, and then somehow you will get to somewhere. It will be better than where you were as long as you are trying to improve on yourself. And then do not stress about why I'm not there yet, because having stress will actually slow down your journey to something better. So I guess all we have to do is to enjoy yourself, learn everything you want to learn along the way, and then one day you will get somewhere that is better than the day before. So thank you very much, and back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you. Yes, we shall remember to do that. To smell the roses. Next, we will have Khalid, Toastmaster Khalid. Would you pick a number, please? Toastmaster Khalid,
Yeah, hold on a second. Yeah, tell me.
would you pick a number, please?
From what to what? Oh, here, okay. Well, there's so many. How about 18?
18.
Yeah.
A man who has committed a mistake and doesn't correct it is committing another mistake. A man who has committed a mistake and doesn't correct it is committing another mistake. Over to you, Toastmaster Khalid.
Okay. Madam Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, this expression or sentence reminds me of a colleague of mine many years ago. We were working together, and for some reason, there was an argument between him and another colleague. There was some kind of misunderstanding, but the other colleague thought that he had made a mistake. So what happened is I told my friend, I see that you did make a mistake, so please just be humble and apologize. However, this colleague of mine was very stubborn and he did not admit that he made a mistake. So he made another mistake. He went and wrote an email to her and even made the mistake worse. And what happened at the end is that the issue was escalated to the manager or to our higher officers. And then there was a committee, and then there was investigation, discussion, and everything. And what happened at the end is that he was found to be mistaken. And by the end of the year, by the way, I work in the academic field. By the end of the year, his contract was not renewed based on what he had done. So whenever we make a mistake and you reflect on it and you find yourself that you had made a mistake, especially if you have violated someone's right, it is best to be humble and admit your mistake because you don't want to compound the mistake. That is the lesson I learned from this little story with my friend. And he is no longer, by the way, employed by the company. So a mistake can always be corrected because we're all human, we always make mistakes. A good thing is for us to admit that we can make mistakes, but we can always correct it. Back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Khalid. We will remember to admit to our mistakes.
Patricia, can I go after, because I was supposed to go before and I have to go.
Sure, Joan, Toastmaster Joan.
Thank you.
Yes, pick the number, please.
Table topic 20.
Seeds of faith is always within us. Sometimes it takes a crisis to nourish and encourage their growth. Seeds of faith is always within us. Sometimes it takes a crisis to nourish and encourage their growth. Over to you, Toastmaster Joan.
President, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Seeds of faith are always within us, but sometimes it takes crisis to nourish that seed or nourish and bring out the best inside us. This is what I understand, which is so true. Regardless of what are you doing in life and where are you, it's always there are certain periods of crisis which bring out the best within you. For example, imagine, look at my move here. I moved from a very warm country to a very cold country right now. And it's taking me so long in order to adjust. But should I just ensure and be like, why am I sitting at home? Why can't I go out? But rather than that, I would take this opportunity to just go online and flourish myself, do some lot of courses and make sure that this cold country or cold environment or even just this pandemic does not kill me, but I'm out there always using each and every opportunity, whether it's online, like what we are doing right now, or whether even hiking or moving around in nature without having any friends because it's all pandemic, we have to maintain a social distance. So regardless where we are, use an opportunity of crisis to ensure that it makes you a best version, brings the best person out of yourself. Don't let any crisis hinder your growth. Make sure that you use every opportunity in your life to be the best version, because life is just once, it's a God-given. A lot of people today are not even surviving. I can see, I'm from India, and I can see so many people out there. I know, like I've heard such sorrowful stories in the past 2 weeks. They're not even seeing the sunshine that you and I we are enjoying today. So think of this, that this is the moment for me to become the best version of myself. Use this opportunity, regardless of whether it's crisis or what, to be the best version of yourself. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Joan. Next, we will have Toastmaster Selby. Selby, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Would you like to choose a table topic number, please?
I can go for number 11.
Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. Over to you.
A very good evening to fellow Toastmasters, dear guest and table topic master, for giving me this opportunity today to present on my favorite topic and my favorite scientist, which is none other than Albert Einstein. What a beautiful quote. And it truly resonates to my story I will take you through last year. I was at Barcelona airport on 22nd of Feb 2020, and I was embarking back to my home country. Just when, right in the front of the boarding counter, I lost my backpack, having currency, passport, all the important documents, and all the important gadgets and my buyer's data, because I was presenting a home show there. Just imagine what a plight it was. I was left in middle of nowhere, and there was no hope for me, and there was no light to be seen at the end of the tunnel, because I was not even fluent in Spanish, and I couldn't, muster the guts to tell the police that what I'm facing. But when I came back to my home country, I feel that COVID was something like blessing in disguise, that I could again revive and rejuvenate and muster the guts in the candescent of I feel today, that I could revive and rejuvenate what I lost there. I could make the catalogs of my company again. I could reach out to vendors and my suppliers, my buyers again. So this was something like a knockdown which happened to me. But yes, you don't learn unless you have been whipped down, unless you face the blow. And then probably when you learn from your mistake, there is no looking back. You learn from your upside down. You learn from your failures and grievances. And this is the push which gave to me, and that which has revived me. And there is a 10x growth which I see today in my company. And I thank you for giving me this opportunity today to present my story. Over to you.
Thank you for sharing your story with us. Can we have Aparo? Are you there? Would you like to pick a number? How about Toastmaster Rotimi?
Sure, number 15.
Becoming is better than being. Becoming is better than being. Over to you.
Okay, fellow Toastmasters, table topic master. Becoming is better than being. Becoming, I believe, shows progress. I'm trying to become something. But when you say being, that sounds more of a past tense. So it's better for you as a person to always try to progress. I'm trying to become maybe a pilot, for instance. you are at least making progress than being. Being signifies a state of stagnancy. So I think it's extremely important that in whatever we do, we need to strive as much as possible to always to always improve on whatever we do. So becoming is better than being. The topics master.
Thank you. Now next we have Gracie. Gracie, would you pick a number?
Sure. I'd love to have table topic number 7, please.
17. We find comfort among those who agree with us and growth among those who don't. We find comfort among those who agree with us and growth among those who don't. Over to you, Gracie.
Thank you very much for this excellent question. I think that a lot of us here would like to conform because conformity is comfort. Because when you're one with everyone else, there's nothing to hate, is there? But personally, I believe that pain is a quintessential part of growth because they go hand in hand, really. You can't have one without the other. And I think that this is because pain forces us to choose. Pain forces us to make these difficult decisions pertaining to important things that can actually change our lives. Pain makes us question whether or not the perseverance to do certain things is worth it. And if you look at examples of in history everywhere all around you, you see that it's people who are different who stand out. And the way I say it actually makes it sound a little bit less powerful than it's supposed to be, but it's people who are different. It's people who take initiative to do what is different, who actually do better and who actually live greater, more impressionable lives in comparison to others. You see people like Elon Musk, who has taken the initiative to create something that no one else has thought of before. And you see that even though he has received lots and lots of backlash, he's certainly living better lives than any of us here in this room, at least monetarily, materialistically. And just to wrap everything up, I think that conformity is much more comfortable because the boundaries of your comfort zone aren't tested at all. If you're the same as everybody else, then what's to hate about you? And I think that just to conclude this little segment, you can be the most fragrant, most beautiful peach in the room, but there will always be someone who dislikes peaches. So that being said, just be you because you can't please everyone. Thank you very much. Back to you, Madam Hot Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Gracie. Next, we will have Jennifer. Jennifer, are you there? Toastmaster Jennifer, would you pick a number, please?
Sorry, I went to take a drink.
We are happy to see you. So you
Thank
have
you. Number 7. 7.
7.
Yes.
Change is inevitable. Growth is optional. Change is inevitable. Growth is optional. Over to you, Toastmaster Jennifer.
Thank you, Table Topic Master, and good evening, everyone. Change is inevitable. Growth is what? Sorry, I forgot.
Growth is optional.
Okay, thank you. Well, I think most of my members, club members, know that I just crossed my 70 years old yesterday. So I'm now 70. So I've just crossed it. So I believe I need to change because there's no more 6 in front of my age anymore. It will be 7. So I am now embracing this number, and I am very happy to be in my sizzling 7 journey. So I need to change. I need to change. I need to, shall I say, I need to look at things differently from 70 years old onwards, because I look forward to another 10 years, 20 years, 80 years old, 90 years old, who knows? So even though I'm at this age, I would still like to grow. How? Because there are many things I still like to learn. And that is, like, for example, ukulele, which I just enrolled for a class. And I am still, I want to be very determined to be fitter, stronger. So I want to change my diet to be more healthy, because from 70 onwards, I think I really need to look into that, the input. Therefore, yes, change is inevitable. Growth is optional. So it's up to me whether I want to grow or not. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jennifer. We will grow together with you. Now, next we will have.
That's all, Patricia.
Oh, yes.
So that's all the time we have for table topics.
Right.
Yeah.
I was having so much fun. Thank you. Can we have the timers report, please?
Table topic master, you can have one last one.
Can I also remind everyone to try to use the word of the day?
Oh, we've got a serious
you can
reminder.
choose the last one. That is chili. Chili.
Because
she's Kimmy the last one, so she has no choice.
Now, Trilling, pick a number.
Number 1.
Number 1 is taken. How about number 2?
Okay.
Whatever makes you uncomfortable is your biggest opportunity for growth. Whatever makes you uncomfortable is your biggest opportunity for growth. Over to you.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I agree with this topic. Whatever made me uncomfortable is an opportunity for me to grow. It's just like I joined Toastmasters. I am very timid. I seldom like to talk a lot and do especially those project work. And with this, I have no choice. It's not my comfort zone. I have no choice that if I want to improve, I have to start from somewhere. So I learned to do speeches like icebreaker speech, and it slowly grow. Then I also don't like also to be to take meeting roles, and now I have no choice. I also learn how to grow. So this is a discomfort level. But one thing is that when I pick out this role, I begin to feel that yes, I have improvement now, that I able to now dare to speak in front of all of you. And also you asked Billy that he asked me to say, come and join. I say, no, I cannot speak in front of international speaker because I say this is below my standard. So I feel that, joining Toastmaster is give me this opportunity and give me beyond my comfort level. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity for this table topic practice. Back to you, table topic master. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chui Ling. Thank you for speaking up and also growing together with us, even though it felt uncomfortable. We are really happy to hear you speak today. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. Now, can we have the timers report, please? Toastmaster Edward.
Yes, I posted the timers report in the chat.
Thank you. We can start voting. %, 62% has voted.
I think voting in all countries, wherever you're from, voting is probably compulsory. So please remember to vote.
Thank you. It is 81% now. Thank you, everyone. Now I shall hand the time over to our our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Corey. Thank you.
Thanks, Patricia, for the awesome table topic session. I could see that she really handpicked carefully each quote. Thanks once again. Tonight, all table topic speakers did a good job. All of the participants have made a progress in impromptu speaking. You all can decently growing into a better spontaneous speaker. Now we will have a break for 10 minutes and we will
Madam
resume.
Toastmaster of the day, may I please present something just before we go on a break?
Okay.
First of all, as we mentioned earlier, we've had 2 birthday girls this week. Happy birthday, Corey. And now, for those of you with a pink background, if you like to change the background to a special birthday girl, happy birthday, Jennifer Hot Mama. May you have eternal youth, wisdom, health, and everything you wish for. And just for turning 70, we have prepared something special to share with you. Let me just unmute and play that for you.
Jennifer, happy birthday! I wish you a very blessed.
Wow.
Happy birthday, and wish you all the happiness, wealth, and health be with you always. I hope to meet you in person soon.
Jennifer, count your life by smiles, not tears. Count your age by friends, not years. Happy birthday and have a what year ahead. Love you.
Happy birthday, Jennifer. May you have the wonderful, nice big 7 ahead. So happy birthday, Jennifer, and keep the 7 in you, because every 7, it means you are climbing the 7 trees and the 7 cats and the 7 monkeys.
Oh gosh.
Birthday, hot mama. You are always shining and glowing, and you bring so much of fun in our Toastmasters meeting. We cannot wait to have you. You should always be there in each and every meeting, because without you, there is no fun. Happy birthday to you.
Hello, hot mama. Happy birthday. You are so inspirational. Happy birthday to you. I love you. Stay happy, stay healthy always.
Happy 70th birthday. I'm really glad that I met you through SG Online or a lot of online clubs. And I really enjoy the way I listen to your speeches. And I also enjoyed that particular time we were on the e-karaoke, and I really enjoyed that session. So I really like your energy, and you also is a very inspiring Toastmaster. So I really want to wish you a very happy birthday. Hope to see you in person or online meetings again.
Oh gosh.
It's good to, I mean, we know each other for quite some time. And it's only truly this year that we started really knowing each other. And that session at Bishan the other day was an eye-opener because we learned a lot, we talked a lot, and hopefully we can have more in-person dinner dates. Who knows? All right, I have a poem for you, or rather, a message. Your joy is sweet. Your smile is magic. Your touch is warm. Your word is gold. Your light is on. Your laughter is music. Your faith is strong. Your voice is heard. Your heart is pure. Your soul is so true. Your life is love, because you are you. Happy birthday, Jennifer. And of course, happy birthday on such a milestone, 70 years on this. Happy birthday, Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer. You're so lovely, lady. I always feel that you're so pleasant, so beautiful. If you never tell me you are 70 years old, I can't believe. Yeah, praise the Lord. You are 70 on 6th of May. And so happy to meet you in Toastmasters, and we share the same faith. Maybe I can recite this verse for you. Not verse, is the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord makes his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. You are always beautiful, Jennifer, and in his time, he made all things beautiful, including you and I. Happy birthday, Jennifer.
Happy birthday, hot mama. Wishing you eternal beauty, youth, health, and wisdom. You are truly an inspiration to all of us. We love you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to my friend. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to my friend. Happy birthday to you.
生日快乐，祝你生日快乐。
Let's sing the song now.
快乐。
恭祝你生辰與天齊，
喜賀你生辰快樂，年年都有今日，歲歲都有今朝，恭喜你，恭喜你。 Happy birthday, hot mama. Mwah.
Birthday, Jennifer.
Happy
birthday.
Can I say something? Can I say something? I sorry, I'm truly surprised. I didn't expect this because I should have come in earlier, but today happened also to be my daughter-in-law's birthday. Yesterday was mine, so today is hers. So we were out eating as well. So thank you so much for putting in so much effort. Thank you so much for doing all this. I really appreciate all that you've done. And I thank you so much that I know all of you and you are really an inspiration to me. And you really, I love all of you. Really, I love all of you. Thank you so much. I didn't expect it. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I love you. I love you all.
Can we just see the birthday song to her now? One. So Lee she'll start it. Lee, over to you. The birthday song.
Ready, everyone?
Yes.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear hot mama. Happy birthday to you.
Hip hip. Hooray. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love you all. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Really. Praise the Lord that I have all these blessings, that I get to know every one of you. And I learn from everybody, everyone. I'm relatively new in the Toastmasters journey as well, but I learn from everybody. And thank you so much for organizing this. Lee Buckley, thanks a lot. Thanks everyone for this. Thank you. Love you all. Thank you.
Yeah, Lee
Jennifer,
Buckley is the mastermind.
Yeah, Jennifer, when they said you are 70, I did not believe. I think they are playing Frank on you because I thought that you should be around 40 or something like that. Okay, 30 or 40. And when they say really, I could not believe it. Thank you. But happy birthday to you. This should be a special birthday to you. We all love you.
Thank you, Kanan. That is a good compliment for me. I will remember that.
Definitely.
I think a lot of people say that, and it's always in my mind. And I always believe that age is just a number, and it's how I take it. I need to be happy. If you are part of my WhatsApp group, you will see that I have this tagline: happiness is the key to good health. And I really mean that because it did help me a lot. We have to be happy. And I'm now, you see me with tears. I'm not sad. They are tears of joy. I'm so touched. I'm so touched. And I'm really, really happy. So remember, happiness is key to good health. So it's all in the mind. Just remember to be happy. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Yeah.
You said it right. Happiness, yeah, inner mind. Actually, the face shows your inner mind. Thank you all. Thank you, Jennifer. Really, I appreciate.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Love you.
And Lee has done a wonderful job of compiling all the messages.
Yes.
Thank you, Lee.
Yes. That's why she kept on asking me, are you coming for the meeting? I said today is 7th of May, and it's my daughter-in-law and her twin sister's birthday. So I told her that we will probably be going out as well. Then and then later I told her I would try to come in, and well, I managed, but I didn't know she was planning for all this. Thank you, Lee. Thanks a lot. Well, I took a lot of effort to get everybody to do the video. Wow, well done. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Indeed, it's a great milestone to reach 70th birthday. I wish Jennifer completely and perfectly and indecently happy. So
I
now
wish
shall
you
we have a
too. Corey, I wish you a happy birthday too. So we are both fellow Taurians. We are Taurus.
maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so now shall we have a break? Perhaps we will resume at 10:40. Welcome back, everybody, to the prepared speech section. Do remember the word of the day is candescent. Candescent meaning glowing or dazzling from, as if from great heat. Our first speaker for today is distinguished Toastmaster Kanan Sankara. Kanan Sankara will speak on positive coaching for club members. I will invite evaluator Patricia Tay to share the speech objective.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. The purpose of this project is for the member to develop and apply skills for coaching a fellow member or a person outside of Toastmasters who can benefit from his expertise. The purpose of his speech is for the member to share some aspects of his experience coaching. Thank you. Over to you.
So Kanan will speak on the level 4 building skill improvement through positive coaching. Welcome, Kanan Sankara.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. Leadership comes in many forms. As candidates in Toastmasters who have willingness to help can make a difference through coaching. As you all know, coaching and mentoring are not the same. Coaching is based on one skill or one particular task. Your coach goal is to help individuals work on specific skills during a short period. There are coaches for sports, public speaking, and business. In our own Toastmaster Club, Thomas Chen is a speaking coach. A mentor's goal, on the other hand, is to build a long-term relationship to support an individual over a longer duration. Coaches typically focus on helping others on a specialized skill. A very important goal in coaching is to influence an individual in a positive way. Effective coaches are always positive and enthusiastic. Good coaches, like few in our one Toastmasters, create excitement, hope, enthusiasm with the person to whom they are coaching. There are various steps in coaching. I'm just going to tell what are those. I'm not going to go through that in detail. The first one is make sure to observe the strength of the trainee. I'm going to call trainee because I'm not sure whether the coachee is the right word. Second, they have to reinforce the strength. Third, build the confidence. And then help them with the resources and then see whether that behavior is changed. Now, I'm going to share a few of, actually, I'm going to share only 2 of my experience. These are all going to be real experience in my life, okay? Yeah. During this experience, I really learned how I can become a contestant coach. Some years back, when I was young, I used to coach my colleagues and the new employees on IT project management. I know that few of you may be aware of the PMP certification in the IT, and I used to be very strong in Microsoft project and project management philosophies. I tried to coach one of my new employees, but he did not show any improvement at all. I tried to spend more time with him, but I could not find any improvement. I talked about this to my group. in my office. One day he was sitting in a nearby desk and closely watched my coaching style with this employee. After the coaching was over, he called me separately and told me that he identified the issue why that employee could not understand anything. I asked him, okay, tell me. He asked me, hey, how would you tell your wife if the chicken is burnt? Without understanding the intent of the question, I told him, sir, I am a vegetarian. He got irritated a bit. Asked me, okay, how would you tell your wife that the potato is burnt? I told him, I would tell my wife that the potato is burnt. You didn't cook properly. He told me immediately, your marriage will not last long. I'm talking about 20 years ago, fellow Toastmasters. He told me to try it out differently. He told me to include many positive things when you are giving a feedback. On that week, my wife really burnt the potato, the potato curry. I told her, you are beautiful. I love your color. I want the potato to be in the same color like you, the golden color. But I know you love me. So you want to make the potato in my color, which is towards the black. I don't like my color. So make sure you prepare the potatoes in your color, the golden one, the shiny one. My wife understood the message, fellow Toastmasters, and she cooked delicious vegetables from that day. Why I'm saying that, I also learned that when you are coaching a person, you cannot be blunt and tell that this is what you improve. So when you tell in a nicer way with the positive things, you are able to achieve your goals. Now I'm going to share my second incident. Can you all see my screen? Because I feel a little bit grounding. Can you all hear me? Okay. My second incident, recently in Pathways, if you see everyone evaluating, I think that you need vocal variety and you need to have body language. Without anything, it's a standard the evaluator gives. You need to have vocal variety and body language. I wanted to help one person in building the body language. Remember, today, our own Lee Backley gave a workshop how to give effective body language. Remember those steps? I tried to coach her. During the process, I gave a speech in my club, Competitive Communicators. When I was giving the speech, the evaluator told, Kanan, I loved your speech, but you need to improve your body language and you need to improve the gestures because you are too fast in giving the gestures. On the day, what has happened was, it was some technological issue because it was going round and round. So my gestures seemed to be very fast. Remember, Lee told that when you are in a normal environment, you need to be cognizant of your movement. Otherwise, it will be like very blurry and very, you see that when you do that very fast, it is blurry. So it will come like a blurry. So I made sure that I want to give this feedback, but my evaluator gave this feedback. So my trainee or coachee, whether that's the right word or not, my trainee said, Kanan, you yourself are not good in body language. How could you coach me on the body language skill? You are not yourself a good Toastmaster. I told her, you need to have trust in me. I will try to give you, I will try to help you and make sure that you are successful, but you need to trust me. Fellow Toastmasters, Why I am saying this? When you are taking somebody as a coach, you need to trust that coach so that that person can help you in making sure that you are successful. Fellow Toastmasters, during my Toastmaster journey, I coached many people on a particular skill. I also mentored many one on a long term. But when you provide feedback in a positive way, the results are better. As we all progressing in Toastmaster journey, let us provide honest evaluation like a packed in a sandwich approach. Lot of positives and give a honest improvement. That way we can help them and we can also make sure that we can be also successful coach. We can be a conditioned coach by providing all this improvement to our Toastmasters. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Please give round of applause to DT and Kanan Sankara. Thank you, Kanan, for sharing the speech tonight. Next, we will have speaker number 2, Rotimi Omotayo Benson. Toastmaster Rotimi joined Toastmasters in 2017. He is an IT professional who loves traveling, adventure, and extreme sports. He is the current president of Lighthouse Toastmaster Club, Lagos, Nigeria. He will be attempting innovative planning level 3, increasing knowledge, inspire your audience. I will invite Toastmaster Lee to share the speech objective.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice writing and delivering a speech that inspires others. The purpose of his speech tonight is for the member to inspire the audience. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Rotimi's speech title is, Are You a Taxi Driver or Bus Driver? Very interesting. The stage is yours, Rotimi.
I'd like to ask you, how many of us here have ever been a taxi driver? If you have, can you just type yes in the chat box? If not, just type no. Have you ever been a taxi driver before? No. Okay, fine. How many of us have ever been a bus driver before? So when I say bus, like your SBS transit bus in Singapore, have you ever been a driver, a bus driver before? Yes or no? No again. Okay, one last question. If you were told to choose a career between a taxi driver and a bus driver, which would you choose? Before you answer that question, the Toastmaster of the day. I used to be a taxi driver. Taxi, fine. I used to be a taxi driver. And what's the life of a taxi driver like? Just like every other person, you wake up in the morning, brush your teeth, have your bath, and then you have your breakfast, and then you step into your taxi. But when you step into your taxi, where is your destination? Your destination is unknown. You practically have to start driving around the whole place, looking for a passenger to tell you where he or she is going to. Oh, taxi, you stop. I'm going to Bidok bus interchange. You drive the passenger there. But I didn't like that kind of life. And that's because the passengers were determining where I was to go to. So I decided to change careers. I decided to become a bus driver. Now, what's the life of a bus driver like? Just like your regular taxi driver. Same morning rituals, brush your teeth, have your bath. But when you step into your bus, assuming you step into your SBS Transit Bus Route 7, going from Bidok Interchange to Clementi Interchange, I, as the bus driver, I know where I'm going to. I have a destination. I'm leaving from this location and I'm going to a specific location. Now, you as the passenger, if you decide to step into my bus, you have to be going my way. The reality is, in life, you are either a taxi driver or a bus driver. You either know where you are going to or you don't know where you are going to. Whereby people are dictating where you are going to. You must choose which one you want to be in life. What normally happens is many of us wake up in the morning, we are hurrying to go to our places of work. But do you know that that place of work you are going to is actually someone else's boss? And you going there and you are a passenger in that bus. The owners of the company, the board of directors, the entrepreneur, they are the drivers. They've taken you as passengers to take you to their own destination. That's why the company has a vision, or the owner has a vision. Now, am I telling you to go and resign your job and go and start your own job? No. What I'm just telling you here today is it's important we have goals. It's important you have goals, financial goals, marital goals, whatever goals, career goals. It is extremely important to have goals. And it is not just about having goals. You need to have goals that are SMART. SMART is an acronym, which means your goals have to be specific. It has to be measurable. It has to be achievable. It has to be relevant. And it has to be time-based. I give you an example. Someone comes to you and says, I want to lose weight. That's goal one. Another person comes to you and says, I want to lose 5 kg before my next birthday. Which out of these two goals do you think is really achievable? Obviously, the second goal, because it's SMART. SMART, so I want to lose 5 kg by my next birthday. The SMART there, the specifics there is, I want to lose 5 kg. Is that goal measurable? Yes, it is. The person has said he or she wants to lose 5 kg. So the person can stand on the scale now, weigh yourself, then after a period of time, go back to the scale and weigh yourself. Is it achievable? Most likely, assuming your next birthday is not tomorrow or 2 days later. Is it relevant? Yes, maybe losing 5 kg might be health beneficial. Now, is it time-based? Yes, you said you want to lose 5 kg by your next birthday. So my point says this, whenever you are setting goals, ensure that your goals are SMART. And I'll leave you with this today. Whether you want to be a taxi driver or a bus driver, I would suggest try as much as possible in life to be a bus driver, to have a clear goal of where you're going to, and ensure that your goals are SMART. The Toastmaster.
Thank you, Rotimi. Please give warm applause to Rotimi. He reminded us to have a SMART goal, know where you want to go. It's very important to set a goal for your life so you know your destination and where you want to go. Next, we will have a speaker, number 3, Angela Lansbury. This is the Angela contest winning speech, extended to be a keynote speech. Her evaluator will be Mike Monroe. Mike is a Toastmaster member since 1983. Basically, before I was born, he was already Toastmaster. And Mike also co-founder of Toastmaster in Spain, 1998 to 2003. I will invite evaluator Mike to share the speech objective of Angela.
Mike, excuse me. We are not hearing you, Mike. We are not hearing you.
Now? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Edward, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I had the things on. The keynote speech is a very, very important speech. You're invited to give the keynote speech at a very important event. So I'm going to evaluate Angela on her content, organization, and delivery. I repeat, her content, organization, and delivery. Madam Toastmaster, I return it back to you. And thank you, Edward, for telling me that you couldn't hear me. Thank you very much. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. Angela's speech title is Live Another Year. Please give warm welcome to Angela.
Angela, you are muted.
Friends, I am delighted to be with you today, to be with people who have achieved so much and lived through COVID-19. We have all lived a year from when it started. And you might think I didn't do much, I just sat around, I didn't particularly enjoy it, it was all very challenging. When you look back on it, you will find that it's very much like the biblical saying, although I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, because everyone is falling away beside that you have survived. And there are lessons all the way through your life. Now let me start with when you're a little child and you look forward to birthdays, you look forward to balloons, you look forward to cake, and you look forward to presents. Now, I will tell you the story about my son and his birthday, and then I will talk to you about university, exams, university boyfriends, jobs, and later on in life. And you can see, like Shakespeare said, at each stage in life, there is something that you can enjoy. Now, to go back to my son, he was a tiny little boy, about 7 years old, looking forward to his birthday, but his best friend's birthday party the day before was cancelled. And he was so upset, my son was, and he said to his granny, my mother, "Granny, when are you going to die?" I was horrified because most of us do not look forward to how long we're going to live and when we're going to die. We don't want to think about it. We don't want to remember it. We don't want to plan 70 years, our whole life. Very few people plan their whole life. How much do we plan? It usually seems a big challenge on January the 1st to make a plan for the whole year. Yet governments, we expect to plan 5 years ahead. And when you have something like COVID-19 come along, people start saying, but we should have planned long ago. There were people looking ahead and saying, like Joseph in the Bible, there are going to be 7 years of glut and then 7 years of famine. So when you have the years of glut and too much food, you store it up so that when the famine comes along, you are prepared. Now let's go back to my poor little son who was upset about Granny dying. You can go onto the internet and you can do a plan of your 70 years and see how many weeks you have if you live to 70 years. Now, a lady in this room has just reached 70 years, but she is thinking, I heard her say this, that she could live 10 years, she could live 20 years, because she has this view that the future stretches ahead and there are so many more things she can do. There must be things that you have always wanted to do, and someone has invented this idea of the bucket list. the things that you want to do that you haven't yet done. And you often think, well, I can't do this, I can't achieve this. When I trained to be a teacher, we were not told how to teach. We were given just a plan a week ahead, the papers to take in for that lesson. Teachers have to plan a year ahead. You're going to do O-levels or A-levels, and you think where you're going to be at the end of the year. If you've got 5 books. Now, when I was a teacher, I used to take each pupil and say, what are your books? How many weeks are there in the year? Let's allow for 2 weeks holiday and maybe 2 weeks when you might get the flu or fall ill. And then we take the books and we divide up the weeks and we allow 2 or 3 weeks at the end for revision. And then we see how long to spend on each book. Similarly, when you're in school, somebody has planned your entire week. They give you a timetable. They tell you, you've got an hour to do this. And at the end of that hour's lesson, it doesn't matter how much your French teacher or your English teacher wants to carry on, you have to stop. The bell goes because there's another teacher waiting to teach you your next subject. And when you're giving speeches, it's very much the same. You have to be prepared to stop because somebody else wants to give their speech. So at the beginning of the year, you can plan your entire year ahead of all the things you want to do. When I was at school, there was a girl who failed O-level English. She didn't fail it and get a C, she got an F. She was right at the bottom. She retook that exam again at Christmas. She didn't pass, she got an E. She was still a long way ahead. She took the exam again the following summer. She got a D. She still wasn't there. She took the exam again and she got a C. It was a pass. I cannot imagine taking an exam 4 or 5 times, but it was so important to her and she was so happy when she got that success, which was essential to her to get a job. Anything you want to learn, you can learn. You can go online, you can learn to draw, you can learn to sing in tune, you can play the banjo. There are hundreds of things. The British think you're born with it, you either can or you can't, but the Americans have a course they're willing to sell you, and you can usually get it for free. There's no reason for you, if you fail an exam, to give up. I know someone at university, he attempted suicide. His girlfriend saved him. He took the exam the following year and he got a first. There's always another chance, and there's always someone else. If you have a relationship breaking up, there's always someone else you will meet. I look back in my last year's diary and I can see the problems I had last year. I lost my diary, I lost my phone, I lost this, something broke. All these problems are just forgotten. I've forgotten all about them. They've been overtaken by others. Whatever you plan, you have got birthdays to look forward to. Whether you're a 7-year-old or a 70-year-old, you have got so many things. Whatever you want, you have got time to fulfill your dreams. I must now pass you back to our Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thanks, Angela, for delivering the speech tonight. Can I have the time reports?
Yes, I'll post it in the chat. Okay.
Oh, okay. Angela actually supposed to be delivering her speech 18 to 22 minutes, right?
How
Is it,
many have
Angela?
I done? Because I couldn't see the timer. I hadn't seen the timer.
You did 8 minutes and 41 seconds.
8. So can I stand up and continue my speech and pin the timer?
Madam Toastmaster of the evening.
You still have time, Angela, actually.
Right.
You can continue, perhaps.
Continue
10 more
from this
minutes.
time, or do we restart her?
No, continue from where I
Just
was.
continue. She still have time, actually.
So who's my timer? My timer is Edmund?
Edward Young.
Yes.
Edward Young.
Okay.
I will give you, okay, I will give you 10 more minutes.
Okay, thank you. Now, there are two things that cause problems to university students. One thing is the breakup of a relationship, and the other is exams. I've already shown you 2 instances of people who failed exams. One was someone who didn't think they were successful, but they retook their exams. In fact, they were both people who retook their exams. One got from nowhere to a pass, and one got from not doing well to getting a first. So if you're worried about exams, you can always do better. And one thing I have noticed is that university students often miss out on the basics. The basics are people are like plants. If you think of a plant, it really needs 3 things. It needs sunshine, light and sunshine. It needs water, and every now and then it needs a little food. And human beings are very similar. You need light. You need light to get vitamin D. When you have a baby, the baby will keep you awake at night, but you can teach it to sleep through the night if you regulate the lighting sufficiently well. Eventually it will learn to do what all our ancestors did, which was to wake up in the morning when the light comes and to go to sleep at night when it's dark. When my baby was born, I was depressed. The health visitor came round and she had no problem seeing what was going on because she'd visited so many new mothers. She said, "You're not getting enough sleep. No wonder you're depressed. When the baby sleeps, you sleep. And make sure that it sleeps at night if you can, and keep it awake during the day, then it will sleep at night." Now, another thing I learned about babies is it's a bit like Edison looking to invent the light bulb. It's a process of elimination. Why is the baby crying? Why is your friend upset with you? It's either because of something you have said, or it's nothing to do with you whatsoever. Somebody is upset because something outside has upset them. And there are 2 ways of curing this. No, 3 ways. One is distraction. The balloon bursts, baby cries. Give it another balloon or something to look at, and it will start being happy. Boyfriend problems. You're upset because you've got no boyfriend. Go out and start dating other people. Maybe you'll get back together again. Maybe you won't, and you'll find somebody new. Most people, can you put your hand up if you've ever had a broken relationship? Have you only had one broken relationship? Put your hands up if you've had two or more than two. When the first one happened, you thought that was the worst thing that could ever happen to you. You'd never meet anyone else. And then you broke your heart all over again with someone else, didn't you? Whatever happens, the story of Job in the Bible, the man who lost his whole family and he was told to go and start another family. And you'll find Anne Frank's father, he lost Anne Frank, her sister, and his wife. He eventually married another lady who'd lost her husband, but she still had a daughter, and that was their stepdaughter, his stepdaughter. So however bad things are, there can always be somebody else for you. And there are sayings like there are many more fish in the sea, or there's someone for everyone. So never think that a relationship is absolutely the moment when things could end. I unfortunately had a friend who committed suicide one New Year's Eve over a relationship. Her friends went round the next day, her family went round the next day, they were too late. The moral is, don't let people be alone on New Year's Eve. Now, one year when I was a student, I was not invited to a New Year's Eve party. I didn't have a boyfriend and I was fed up. I phoned all my friends and said, do you know of a party? Nobody knew of a party. And then a thought struck me and my mother simultaneously. If all my friends didn't have a party to go to, if I threw a party, they'd come to my party. And if I asked all the girls to bring their brother or a boy or a friend, maybe there'd be somebody for me. And sure enough, two things happened. One was, after I sent out my invitations, I got 4 invitations to other people's parties. I had 2 dates from people who turned up at my party, and if neither of those worked out, I had 3 or 4 more parties to go to. So you can see, if you've got nothing to do on New Year's Eve, invite some people round to your place. Don't ever be alone, and don't let anybody else be alone on New Year's Eve, because afterwards you'll have friends and relationships and things will turn out okay. Now, on New Year's Eve, I have this thought about my poor friend who committed suicide, but I wiped that thought away because I had a wonderful New Year's Eve when my son told me he was getting engaged. Yes, that little boy. They don't cry and cry and cry forever. They walk and they talk, and then you've got a friend for life. He's now got married, and within this month, he is going to have a little girl. I'm so looking forward to that. And I have a plan. I want to be there at her wedding. That means I have to live for 20 years. Now, a friend of mine from Toastmasters told me his daughter was marrying a Korean. He couldn't speak Korean, the Korean couldn't speak English. So they both agreed they would learn each other's languages for the wedding, which is going to be a year later. If you've got something happening good in your life, there's always something fun and challenging you can do. So please, always think, however bad things are, plan a year ahead. Think of something good for yourself and for all the people you know. May I have a check with Edward on the timing?
You are at 16 minutes, 55 seconds.
So I have 4 minutes, and it is absolutely perfect. I have 4 minutes to tell you the absolute last things I want to say. When my son was born, I thought I couldn't stand it because I was so upset. I wasn't sleeping and he was crying. But I told myself, you have to live another year. When my beloved mother died, my father was obviously very upset. But I knew I had to live another year. So I played bridge with him. He was diabetic. I cooked him fruit desserts. I spent my whole year making sure that he lived. And instead of mourning the loss of my mother, I concentrated on making my father happy. The moral is very simple. There are things you can do to make yourself happy, to make others happy, to plan ahead. You can plan your day, you can plan your week, you can plan a year, you can plan 5 years. There's always something good. People say, what is the purpose in life? If you're planning a meal, that's your purpose in life. Believe me, I can make you think of purpose in life. Cake, durian cake, dates, chocolates, coffee, Prosecco, whiskey, beer, glass of refreshing water. There's always, always something to look forward to. I shall now let you all go off and have something to eat and drink. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you for the prepared speech, Angela. Can I have the timer reports again? Edward Young. Thank you. Okay, so all is eligible for the voting. Can we launch the poll, Joe Master? It's only half of the voting received. Can I suggest everybody to participate? Any more people haven't voted yet? We have received 10 voting. There is some more voting can be collected. Okay, we will. Oh, there is a tie. One more people come to participate in the voting.
Maybe we can just proceed on and yeah, because otherwise we would be wasting valuable time.
Yeah, I will closing the voting soon. 3, 2, 1. Okay, the voting is closed. We will have a break for 4 minutes. Shall we go back at 11:30 p.m. at Singapore time? Do stretch your leg, give yourself a tea or coffee. Welcome back, guys. We have 3 motivating prepared speech before. Now we will enter into evaluation. The first evaluator for Canon Sankara speech will be Patricia Tay. Toastmaster Patricia Tay.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Good evening once again, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and especially dear Kanan. It is always a pleasure to hear Kanan speak. Today is no exception. Kanan has shown us how quickly he has picked up what he heard just less than 2 hours ago, and he quickly adjusted his space to ensure that he was presenting at his best. From that, we learned, because we see that he has learned so quickly, and that is really something that we should also follow. I saw how Kanan filled the screen. There was good framing, and Kanan had good varied facial expressions. He frowned at the right times and widened his eyes when he wanted to place certain emphasis on certain words. Kanan, I think you're still here. I love how you place emphasis on certain words as well. You were soft at times, and you were loud when you wanted to place certain emphasis. And I think that was great, because even from your expression, we could see the efforts that you have put in, and that shows your passion towards the topic that you were delivering. To make your speech closer to perfect, next time, you may consider having your hand gestures fully visible. Maybe like this. Pushing your device away from you may help. That may be better. Also, you can take the audience through by having a clear sequence to your speech. For example, using first, second, third, and so on to bring out your points. You could also number your points that you are sharing, so you give your speech a clearer focus. Thank you for sharing with us how important it is to be a good coach, and that it is possible to be a good coach even when we are not perfect. That message was very clear. You used the word of the day, candescent, and you told us your personal stories with good and appropriate expressions. Your sharing is authentic, and you gave us good eye contact. I look forward to the next time you present again. Perhaps the next time you might be presenting it standing up. And I think it will just keep getting better and better. Finally, I want to say thank you for giving me this chance to evaluate your speech. Till the next time, back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you for the evaluation, Toastmaster Patricia. Next, we will have a second evaluator, DTM Mike, for evaluating. Oh, sorry. It will be Lee Buckley who will be evaluating the Rotimi speech. Welcome, Toastmaster Lee Buckley.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Are you a taxi driver or a bus driver? I was intrigued by the title of Toastmaster Rotimi's speech. Is he trying to inspire us to take up a different profession? My first thought was, oh no, I feel sorry for the road users. If I'm on the road, you do not want to be on the road. I do not want to contribute to the road fatality stats. But as the story progressed, I loved how he linked the bus driver to someone who knows his or her destination, and how our workplace is someone else's bus, if we really think about it. On the other hand, as taxi drivers, we do not have specific plans nor directions in our life, nor things that we do. I'd like to focus my feedback on helping Toastmaster Rotimi achieve his goal of becoming a condescent inspirational speaker. There were 5 competencies listed for the project. I felt that he has achieved most of them, with a couple of areas to tweak. Toastmaster Rotimi inspired us to adopt a new perspective in setting our goals. Set SMART goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. He used easy examples, like if you want to lose your weight 5 kilos, instead of thinking 5 kilos, think about 5 kilos by your next birthday. He also framed his presence in front of the camera really well. I loved how he took into account the framing, the presence, the body language, and the eye contact. My only comment there is the camera was a bit blur, or shall I say the video was a bit blur. I wasn't sure whether it was because of the camera setting that he had it to adjust for appearance, but a clearer, more vivid vision would have helped us to look at his facial expressions as he inspired us. He started with a question. I'd like to ask you, have you been a taxi or bus driver? What would be more impactful would be to start with a hook. Would you like to have a license to drive aimlessly like a maniac? Or would you like to be responsible like a bus driver? So hook us in with a question rather than saying, I would like to ask you. The other area that I would like to offer some suggestion is to share more vivid, inspirational stories. He shared stories of the bus driver, the taxi driver, as well as losing weight. But think of us, the audience. Remember, in a speech, you have a general purpose, which is to be inspirational, and you have a specific purpose. The specific purpose is what you would like us to do after listening to your speech. By sharing more vivid stories with us, you would inspire us to take that extra step, to take that step forward. Thank you, Toastmaster Rotimi. I have now learned to set SMART goals for my future goals. To be more impactful, if you'd like to share more vivid, inspiring stories with the rest of us, and thank you for your speech. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lee Buckley. Next, we will have the third evaluators for Angela Lansbury, DTM Mike Monroy. Please welcome DTM Mike.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Can you hear me, Corey? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. Thank you very much. To the distinguished Toastmasters in this room, to Mr. President Willie Lowe, to Madam Toastmaster Corey, and all our distinguished guests from Morocco to Australia. Wow, I am honored to be here. Angela, my goal to evaluate you, I only have so much time. Only so much time to make my point. I'm not going to be a politician. I'm not going to be a lawyer. I'm going to be a businessman. I'm going to be direct and to the point. 3 steps. I'm going to evaluate you. Your content, your organization, and your delivery for a keynote speech. A keynote speech is a very, very important event for any Toastmaster to be involved with. After lunch, after dinner, or maybe at a big Toastmaster event or any event. Very, very important. Now, if this is virtual, that's a different story because now you're behind the camera. 1, your content. It's personal, it's about family, COVID, learning, inspiring, uplifting, interesting speech. Lots of information. Lots of information. Number 2, your organization. It's history, historical, your family, your son, teachers, planning, student exams, success, and you use the word suicide 2 times. Be careful. Words like that can throw your audience off track. And you talked about your diary, your delivery. You're animated, your body language is good, excellent eye contact towards the camera. There's emotions, emotional, your timing, and you have a smile, warm blanket with your audience. All right, your content, your organization, and your delivery. That's how I see it and how I feel Angela's speech was. Angela, now my recommendations for the keynote speech. What you said the human needs, 1, sunshine and light, water, and little food. Beautiful, the law of 3. But with all this information, That should have been at the beginning of the speech, in my opinion. Back to the law of three, yesterday, today, tomorrow, the good, the bad, the ugly, the earth, the moon, the sun, the past, the present, the future, win, lose, draw. This is where your audience is going to listen to you as critical thinkers. I'm a critical thinker. In my job, I got paid a lot of money to listen as a critical thinker. That's me. May I recommend, and these are just my opinions and my personal opinions only. When given a keynote speech, think about a dinner party. I love to cook. I'm a good cook. I'm a very good cook. Think as the aperitif, the first plate, the second plate, the dessert, the coffee, and the cognac. And that's how we do it in Europe here. Each is a step within itself towards your speech, especially before an audience in a keynote speech. If you're doing this virtual, it's going to be tough. Too many distractions. This is the distraction right here, or who's in the room, who's watching you. So my only recommendation is information is a lot. Organize it with your time frame. The first plate, the second plate, the dessert, the coffee, and the cognac. Step by step by step. Don't go in different directions. You lose your audience and it's over. They'll be looking somewhere else, or they'll be on the phone chatting. It's the way it is. That's how life is, and especially with critical thinkers. Angela, it's a good presentation. You need to work on it, please. It's just my opinion. And I want to talk to you as a businessman, not as a lawyer, and not as a politician. Madam Toastmaster, I return it back to you.
Wow, that was a very detailed evaluations. Thank you, DT and Mike. And once again, thank you for all the candescent evaluation given by all three evaluators. We come to an end of the project evaluation segment. Now, may I invite timer reports? Okay. Shall we launch the voting for the base evaluators? For, I think, only 2 evaluators fit the criteria, the first and the second. Zoom Master, can we launch the poll? Willie? Okay, I will close the poll in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Now is the language evaluation segment. We will be learning from our grammarian, Yente, what are the improper use of words and what will be the suggestions. The stage is yours, Yente.
Thank you very much, Corey. And I would like to thank the following people for using the word of the day. Gracie said, "You look absolutely candescent tonight." Lee Buckley, appear candescent. Candescent inspirational speaker. For Suibi, he also used the word of the day. Corey, you mentioned it a couple of times, candescently growing and candescent evaluations and candescently something. Kanan, you mentioned Candescent Toastmasters, Candescent Coach. Now, I would like to move on to some of the good uses of English language today. We had mention of hot-headed phase of youth, as well as I think it was Lee Buckley that said, do as I say, not as I do. And this is a rhetorical device known as a chiasmus. So this is a very good use of the English language. The other thing that she mentioned was volunteer or be voluntold. Now, voluntold is an urban slang, and it means to be the exact opposite of volunteering. So because it is an urban slang, it is something that is frequently used by perhaps the millennials of today. So this is a word that you might want to add into your repertoire of words to sound in. And I like that DTM Michael, I think it was DTM Michael that mentioned the rain in Spain falls mainly on the plains, or was it Lee Buckley? And this is a phrase frequently used for everyone to practice and eliminate any slang or accent that you might have. So by practicing this over and over again, we ensure that we try to eliminate accents in our use of the English language. Now, moving on. Do you associate growth with pains or excitement? And I love this phrase. And the next was to thrive only by nurturing yourself. And this was said by Samir. Khalid said, just be humble and apologize. Khalid, are you still here? Now, let's look at some more of the other phrases that I thought were excellent. Khalid also mentioned reflect on it, violated someone's rights, compound the mistake. And we are only humans because we make mistakes. And these were the phrases that I loved in his speech. Toastmaster Serbi mentioned it truly resonates with my story, and there is no light at the end of the tunnel. And this is another rhetorical device because it is a metaphor, and she's talking about her psyche, and she also used revive and rejuvenate. It would have helped if she had used a third word to make it a triad. So Toastmaster Rutini mentioned failures and grievances. And this is, again, when you're using something like this, if you can put 3 words together to make it into a triad. So perhaps starting off failures or working on another word to create a much nicer triad. Always work on the power of 3. Being signifies stagnation. So I really like the word used here, stagnation. Gracie mentioned conformity is comfort. Pain is a quintessential part of growth. So I really like the use of the word quintessential. It's not something that is frequently heard. Live more impressionable lives. Now, impressionable is something that I felt is a really great adjective, and it refers to something where we impress on others. So live more impressionable lives. Monetarily and materialistically. So I love that Gracie pronounced these 2 words very clearly. Jennifer, I love that you said sizzling 7 journey. And sizzling is an excellent adjective. Now, moving on to some of the germs that I've picked up during today's meeting. Some of the germs were to introduce you to some of our guests. So it should be, let us introduce or introduce yourself, will be a much better way of saying it. We had one of our Toastmasters mentioning mother. So the correct way to say it is mother. With the TH, remember, you need to stick out your tongue. The, mother, the, there, then. Some lack of timing should be lack of time. No matter, regardless of anything. No matter, regardless of anything, there was some repeated use of certain words that were not necessary. So you might want to say, regardless of anything. It wasn't necessary to have no matter in the front. Again, you will get there. It should be, you will get there. Interesting things should be things. You need to pronounce the g at the end. Some more germs. Just crossed my 70 years old. Could be phrase, just crossed my 70th year. Or there was another one, more healthy, should be healthier. I seldom like to talk a lot. Talk, there is some confusion sometimes when we use talk and speak. So talk is a colloquial way of saying, I like to talk to you, or it should be, I like to speak to you about something. No, I like to talk to you about something. It can be used frequently or sometimes interchangeably, but speak is a more formal way of saying it. So try not to say talk, but speak. It is not my comfort zone, should be, I am out of my comfort zone. This is a phrase, there's nothing wrong with this one, is I have no choice. This is a very frequently used phrase by a lot of people, especially Asians. And I like to encourage all of you to choose other ways of saying it, like I have no alternative, or I have little choice, or I have few options. Another phrase was, this is a discomfort level, or I am out of my depth, would be a better way of saying it. Another phrase that was not used correctly was, I able to speak. So it should be, there was additional use of the word able, it should be I am able. Now, one of the key things that I like to highlight was the frequent use of the word and then. And is a very commonly used connecting word. We should try to use more interesting connecting words or linking words. For example, undoubtedly, indeed, obviously, especially, importantly, absolutely, without a doubt. In spite of, despite, whereas, alternatively, there are many ways to use connecting words, and I will be sharing the link of a blog that I frequently use for coaching some of my trainees or mentees or coaches on interesting connecting words or linking words that they should be using in their speeches, rather than using and so, because. These are overly used linking words, connecting words. So during your speech crafting and editing of your speech, because frequently when we are drafting our speech, we never tend to edit these words out. We tend to use things that we are used to. But when you are editing your speech, try to eliminate these words and put in something that is more interesting, something that will make your speech candescent. With that, I end my language evaluation. And thank you very much, everyone, for staying up and listening to my very, very long language evaluation. Thank you very much and have a great evening.
Thank you so much, Hiente, for the very, very detailed evaluation. I learned so much from you. Next, we will come to an end. I will welcome Toastmaster Willie Low to give a closing speech.
Before I give my closing speech, can we have drum roll for the best table topic speaker? And she's no other than our guest, Gracie again.
Congratulations, Gracie.
Thank you.
And the best prepared speaker, there's a tie. So I will not have an tie break. I mean, as a president, I can be the tiebreaker, but we'll give it to them, both of them. That is Toastmaster Kana and Toastmaster Rotimi for Nigeria, who won the best.
Congratulations.
And the best evaluator go to none other than our DCC Toastmaster Libali.
Congratulations, Lee.
Let me congratulate two persons today. That is Toastmaster Connie for completing presentation mastery level 1 and Toastmaster Patricia Day for computer dynamic leadership level 1. She's supposed to submit her award, but she's holding back, but she had to submit for sure. Okay. I have seen Toastmaster Connie, Toastmaster Patricia Day in their journey to Toastmaster, even I was not involved. Toastmaster Lee Bartley was their mentor. I can see their progress in their speeches, but they need to do more material. Toastmaster Patricia Day did it way too much. Toastmaster how long you do your speeches, because in Toastmaster you are free to do whatever is best for you, but we can see the growth in them tremendously because they have a very good mentor, that is Toastmaster Lee. Am I right? Toastmaster Connie, Toastmaster Patricia?
Yes.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Because in this SGI dynamic speaker, we implement a different system of mentoring on top of what Toastmaster International have. That's a secret. Join us, I will tell you the secret. Because I have seen that people, Toastmasters who have joined our club have improved tremendously. Even our hot mama, Toastmaster Jennifer Lim, also have improved. She had been sourced for contest Toastmaster for the last 2 months. She was very hot favorite. We all know those contest Toastmaster. She's our contest chair. The more you do, the more growth you see. I also see Toastmaster Angela, her growth, where she focused on what is important in her speeches by following the project objective or the purpose statement. Previously, she just treat as every speech as a regular speaking opportunity. But when the feedback from various people, especially why she did not win in the contest, she spent her time asking around and people give her feedback. Actually, she needs to go to focus on what is important, what is required in the contest. She went on to win in the research, second place in the division as contest in District 18. We can see her progress as well. Even she did not make it in the beginning, but she she was a bit loose up where she did not won in the SGI dynamic speech contest, but she asked around how can she improve. For the contest that was held on March 12th till last weekend, I can see her progress where she focused on what is important rather than a normal speaking opportunity. I remember 2 years ago when I first started this club, I have a mentee and he's a professor, and we tell him what is, you need to understand, you need to do what is required by Toastmasters International Speech Project, not what you want to do a speech. In the end, he cannot take my feedback and he left the club. So fellow Toastmaster, I guess, if you want to improve in your speaking, you want to grow in your speaking opportunity, concentrate on what the project or purpose statement require you. That's where you learn the skill. It's not about speaking every week and you did not achieve, because I also understand that this club, there's also one member that keep on speaking, asking for feedback, but never learn. But in the end, we decided to let her do whatever she, because in Toastmaster, we cannot force people to listen to our feedback. Accept our feedback, then she can improve further. Right, Toastmaster Lee?
Yes, Club President.
Is that if the feedback, the person have listened to us, then she will have a growth in her speaking skill, right?
Everyone is entitled to take what they want from their evaluation and improve.
Yeah, this is why growth is important in the feedback that evaluator give it to you. Either you take it or throw it away in the bin. I remember when I first joined Toastmaster, I couldn't take the feedback. I couldn't take criticism. I left. I came back. And what I learned one thing, if you go like, just throw it away. But if you want to go, you have to take the feedback and improve on that. So I'll leave you with a thinking. Do you want to grow or you want to stay to be where you are now? Thank you and have a nice weekend. We'll see you same time, same day. And next Friday, I'm going to teach you how to craft a speech, information speech. And it's not an easy topic. It's not like a topic like you have tonight, how make your body works, or get to the point, or how to organize. It's all, this speech will tell you how to craft an information speech. What is information speech? Come and listen to me next Friday, same time, same day. I declare the meeting closed.